August 1st today. It's things are seems to be flying by. Pretty much here, getting into the latter parts of the summer. Um, I hope everybody is kind of taking care and continuing to prepare and getting ready for more. I guess turbulence, you would say, incoming as we face it every single day. Um, Things are, I believe, have been unleashed on the world. I think that we have to understand that we are certainly living in a time of the plagues of Egypt being put on the earth. The physical plagues, if you go through those as we read in Exodus and you put those in the spiritual understandings, you'll understand why there's so many different viruses and so many different sicknesses and diseases and illnesses going around right now since our friend COVID came. I think that we have to understand that these are the plagues that have been put on the earth, and they have been here for a while, and they're only going to get much, much worse. And as you continue to partake in the world or do your duties or do your job or do whatever you need to do in Egypt, we just pray that we have protection over the plagues that are on Egypt. It's funny, I was doing a lesson with my children the other day, and we were talking about, um, essentially going through, my son actually, he's going through the Old Testament, the Torah in particular. He's on Deuteronomy now, and he's, essentially learning and understanding, and he's trying to understand as best he can. But we were talking about Exodus and how, the plagues were put on Egypt, and, how it's absolutely incredible to see that, when they were in their dwelling or when they were outside of the city of Egypt, they never had anything happen to them, the Israelites, in their dwelling place. With all the plagues that were put on Egypt, just outside or just around the corner or essentially just down the street, here we have the Hebrews or the Israelites not having any issues at all, not having been plagued by any of these plagues. So there's a tremendous meaning to that spiritually. There's a tremendous meaning to that in regards to living a simple and quiet life with your hands, and having a defense for the hope that's in you. I think that you have to understand that. I think that if we mingle too much in the world or partake too much in the world, you can get bit, literally, and you can get yourself into a situation where, if we have the understanding that the plagues are on the world, then you know what? There's a chance that you could potentially get something if you're partaking in the world outside of what you have to do for necessity. So I hope that everybody's taking care. Everybody is preparing. Everybody is living simply, living in the fruits of the Spirit, having a wonderful time with their families, and getting prepared each and every day for the return of Jesus Christ, as we come into some tough, tough times, as we understand with the Bible, and things continue to heat up, in the world in terms of financials and wars, and everything is being set up exactly the way it's supposed to be in God's timing. So I wanted to do a part two on a video I did called, I believe it was, the Law Before Moses. No, I'm just going to do a quick one, because I want to show a couple more verses here that are very important for those that may be still stuck in this situation of being part of the cogs like I was. Even though it's difficult for you to come out of it because you're so not wanting to believe it, I would say, because the world or the pagan Christianity is so wrong that you feel like you have to hold on to something that you feel is righteous. But it's not God's righteousness that you're having, it's your own righteousness in the law that you're trying to get. And there's no righteousness that comes from the law, as Paul has told us, only through faith, and the faith that Jesus Christ has fulfilled all things, and that is what it is. So I'm only going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scriptures again. I'm only going to show you in the Old Testament because a lot of these folks just want to stay in the Old Testament. They want to stay in the Torah. They want to stay in these books, and they want to prove that you should be able to prove all things out of the Torah, is what they say, or you should be able to prove all things in the Old Testament. and not even use the New Testament when you're dealing with these Hebrew roots or these Jews or these Messianics or even the sect in Israel. And that's exactly what I'm going to do as I continue to do with these videos. I'm going to go and show you right from the law itself and right from the books of the Torah that in fact that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and those of that generation and those up from Adam to Moses did not live by the Torah and were not given the Torah. It's funny, show me in the Bible where for 430 years they kept the Sabbath in Egypt. Where did they keep the Sabbath? Show me anywhere that they kept the Sabbath or even mentioned the Sabbath. You're trying to tell me that when they were in slavery for 430 years they were given a Sabbath rest? I mean, come on. I mean, right there you should just kind of wake up a little bit. But let's go right into Deuteronomy. I'm going to start with Deuteronomy, and then I'm going to get into some other things here. Let's go to Deuteronomy, okay? And look at Deuteronomy 5, and let's take a look here. So this is where he's confirming everything as we understand that Deuteronomy is absolutely a reconfirmation of what Moses has said as he goes and prepares to die. And then he's given the actual, essentially he's given the curse of the law, essentially is what they will get if they don't follow what God has designed them to follow as they entered into the land. And of course we understand that Christ came and took the curse of the law away. But I wanted to go through this right now with Deuteronomy 5 to show you right here, okay, that even Moses tells us this hard fact right here. In Deuteronomy 5:3, the Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount in the midst of the fire. Okay, so we have here, Moses called all the Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes, the judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that you may learn them and keep them and do them. Okay, he's talking about the Torah here, plus he's talking about the Ten Commandments. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. Okay, the Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all here alive this day. So why is Moses telling us here that this was not the Torah? The Torah was not given to the fathers, because it was not given. Okay, this is making it very clear here. Okay, it was not given to their fathers. All right, so let's continue here and let's look at something else. Because these things we can pull. I mean, you can find these all day long, essentially from Adam to Moses. You'll be able to see these things, and they're not going to add up, okay? So I want to start here in 27. Now, these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. Okay, so now we're getting Abraham's father, okay? And then his brothers, Nahor and Haran, okay? And Haran died before his father, Terah, I guess I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Tahara, yeah, in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor, their brothers, took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, of course, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Ishkah. So Nahor, he took his brother's daughter. He took his brother's daughter for wife. Okay, according to the law, you cannot do that. Okay, he took his brother's daughter. All right, so we're seeing and understanding that how could this be if the law says that this can't happen? Okay, this is again showing us, well, did he just not know? No, he didn't, because it was not given to him. How about this one here? That is, I don't understand. They probably want to forget this one. This one's a big one, and rightfully so. And Amalek said unto Abram, what sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? Okay, so he's going in. He wants, this is the second time he's now going to say that Sarah is his sister so he doesn't get killed. And, obviously God comes to the king in the dream and tells him, hey, listen, don't touch her. He's a very important person to me. And Abraham said, because I thought surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet, indeed, here's the key thing. And yet, indeed, she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Abraham just married his sister. This is not good for those that believe that he was under the Torah. He would have been put to death. This would have been an abomination. He married his own sister. Okay? Well, we're going to check this out right here in the law. Let's take a look at 18. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, born at home or born abroad, their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. So, either or, daughter or mother, mother or father's daughter, you shall not take her and marry her and lay with her. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Okay? You shall not marry your sister. All right? What's 20 say? And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, and he shall bear his iniquity. So, excuse me. So what we have here is we have two situations where we have both brothers taking essentially things that they're not allowed to do according to the law of Moses. So Abraham was married to his sister, and Nahor, his brother, was married to his brother's daughter. Both are no-nos, and both are wickedness, and both are death outside the camp, essentially. So, and then we get from Moses' own mouth that, this Torah, this law, these judgments, these statutes were not given to the fathers. So I want to just kind of point that out, leave it there. You can take with it with what you want. Again, I'm not even going into the New Testament. I'm not even going to go through Romans and Galatians and whatnot and show, because clearly they don't accept that, even though it's black and white there more than it is even the Old Testament. I thought I would just add those couple more tidbits on that. I hope everybody's taking care. Talk to you later.